Welcome back to another episode of the Little Growth Podcast. It's always a pleasure having you all here to draw the line between self-improvement and actual growth through small changes in tiny bits and pieces. I'm your host, Damson, and in our last episode, we talked about how our good intentions and what we value can actually end up being toxic and counterintuitive. Today, however, I'm taking you deeper into another aspect of values, and this is my personal take. I like to talk about perspective. I know that word gets thrown around a lot. I hear it so much. It's all about perspective. But do we really know what perspective is? The dictionary term for perspective is a point of view and a specific way of thinking about something. And this definition is going to play a huge role in dissecting a lot of things in our lives today. It will determine the causes of your conflicts in your everyday relationships, maybe your friends, your family, also your romantic partners. And it will also identify the gap between your current state of mind and where you're supposed to be in life. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. So, the first thing I want to tackle is, of course, why the conflicts happen, or the causes of your conflicts in your everyday relationships. And my head teacher in high school once said, people's opinions are like a nose. Everybody has one. Well, back then in high school, it was a very funny thing to actually quote every once in a while. But he was completely right. We walk around every day convinced that our personal view of the world is objective reality. But here's the deeper secret. Your perspective is directly driven by your values. Your values are the invisible pair of tinted glasses that you wear. If you value security above everything else, your perspective will see danger in every new opportunity. If you value status, your perspective will see disrespect in every minor delay or critique. Picture standing on a street corner somewhere. You see a man running as fast as he can down the road. He's sweating and he's weaving through border borders. Now, if you see that from the north side of the street, if you see him, that man, from the north side of the street, you will see a thief fleeing from a guard, so you judge him. But if you see him from the opposite side of the street, you would see a desperate father chasing a runaway stroller toward a busy intersection. This is the same man, and this is the same speed. And these are two completely different stories, depending on where you stand and what you value in that moment. And here's the plot that I'm trying to lay for you in this episode. Most of your arguments and your career anxiety are not caused by reality. They are created by your brain mistaking its narrow angle and its personal values for the absolute truth. And to understand why our brains pull this trick, we have to look at psychological science. Legendary psychologist Dr. Kahneman, a Nobel Prize-winner, proved that when faced with a complex situation, the human brain does not wait for all the facts. It takes whatever tiny slice of information is immediately available, constructs a story, and declares that as truth. And I call this the Rubik's Cube trap. Now, if for those who know a Rubik's Cube is just, it's a cube that has different faces that all have different colors. So, if you hold the Rubik's Cube in front of your face and look at the red side, you can say, this cube is red, because you're looking at the one face. Someone sitting across from you, the other side, will see blue, and then they'll say, no, it's blue. But why do you argue? Because you are projecting your personal values onto the situation. If you value punctuality and your partner values flexibility, a late arrival isn't just a timing issue. Your perspective frames it as a moral betrayal. And let me cut this here. You are both speaking facts from where you sit, but you are both totally blind to the full object, because neither of you is willing to stand where the other person is sitting. And growth happens the exact moment you stop asking, how do I win this argument? And then you start asking, what side of the cube are they looking at, and what value are they trying to protect right now? Now, let's connect this back to the second promise that I gave from the introduction. Identifying the gap between your current state of mind and where you feel you're supposed to be in life. Firstly, we talked about the cause of your conflicts in your relationships. Now, this is the second part. In previous episodes about values, I did talk about values clarity, and I also talked about not letting society write your personal code. When you do lack clarity on your values, your perspective does get hijacked by other people's standards. There is an organizational psychologist by the name of Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and he wrote extensively about a concept called the gap versus the gain. When you live in the gap, your perspective is locked on measuring your current life against an ideal, perfect future, or better yet, someone else's Instagram reel. You constantly feel behind. When you shift your perspective to the gain, you measure your current life against your own personal code and where you actually started. Think back to who you were 2 or 3 years ago. The responsibilities you are managing today, the resilience you have built, the bills that you are paying. Those are all things that the older version of you prayed to achieve. But because your perspective moved the goalposts to match society's values instead of your own, you are not allowing yourself to enjoy actual growth. Now, on to the next and the final part of this episode. How do we practically train our perspective and align it with our values in daily life? For this episode, I have 3 bite-sized insights that we can all take away. Number 1, separate facts from the value narrative. This week, this month, or this year, when a situation triggers you, split it into 2 columns. You're going to have column A, the fact. For example, you write a proposal to your boss and your boss rejects it. So column A is my proposal was rejected. And column B is the narrative. That's what you tell yourself, or that's how you perceive the situation at hand. Column B is, since now he rejected my proposal, I am a failure. I'm not adding value to this company. Etc. etc. The fact, as you realize, the fact is neutral. But the narrative is just a perspective that is driven by an insecurity or a distorted value. So, number 1, separate facts from the value narrative. Number 2, run the 5-year zoom out. The next time a harsh comment ruins your mood, or a mistake ruins your mood, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? When you actually zoom it out, perspective-wise, that moment you're feeling right now, is it going to matter to you in 5 years? Is it going to matter to you in 1 year? Is it going to matter to you in 6 months? When you shift your time horizon, it instantly shrinks immediate panic down to its actual size. Number 3, ask the magic perspective question. Now this is for you guys who have conflicts. When you're always having conflicts with your friends, conflicts with your partners, and conflicts with family members, stop defending your side of the story and stop defending your side of the Rubik's Cube. Look at them and ask yourself, or ask them, what am I missing about how you're seeing this? And what value matters most to you right now? That single question trades judgment for curiosity and lowers the defenses of the other party immediately. So, you can take all of these bite-sized insights and apply them to your daily life starting now or starting yesterday. So before I end this episode, your perspective is the lens through which you experience your entire existence. But your values are the frame that holds that lens together. If your values are toxic or out of balance, everything you look at will feel chaotic. No matter how bright the sun is shining outside. Just like my head teacher said, everyone has an opinion. But you don't have to be a prisoner to your default view. Clean your lens. Align it with your core values. Walk around the table and measure your growth by how far you've come, not by the noise around you. Thank you so much for spending these minutes with me on this episode of the Little Growth Podcast. If today's message brought you a bit of clarity, or if you know someone who is currently feeling stuck or struggling in a relationship, take a quick screenshot or share the link and post it to your story or your WhatsApp status and tag me in it. For Instagram at little.growth20. Let's help more people shift their perspective, realign their values, and find actual growth. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube or follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you never miss another episode. Until next time, keep making those small changes in tiny bits and pieces. I'm Damson, and I'll catch you in the next episode.